Hey guys, I've got a mini reviews video for you. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, and this is when I go back. Well, I was trying to go back 6 months and review all the things that I talked about in that month, but it is June and I'm talking about August, so I think that's 10 months. So I apologize. I'm going to try and catch up, but let's go ahead and just jump into August. So last August, I actually did a no-buy, but I do see that I did one collective haul there, and I did also talk about some NARS things that I purchased, I guess, before my no-buy started. So let's start with that. So on August 4th, I uploaded a video about NARS and the Atomic Blonde palette and a couple of full vinyl glosses that I got. So this is the Atomic Blonde palette. This was limited edition, I believe, and I don't think you can get this anymore. And if you had asked me probably up until several months ago, I would have told you that I love this palette. Quality is great. I love the colors or whatever. I love the color story. You know, this is very, very in my wheelhouse. These bronzy, shimmery, golden colors I really love. But since this palette, NARS has come out with so many stellar palettes with a different formula than this that, you know, compared to those, this is okay. You know, I still think it's lovely, but it is nothing compared to the newer ones, like the Hot Lights Summer Nights, that pairing. I also love the Skin Deep palette more than this one. That one I just felt like you had a little bit more looks. It's also a little bit more neutral. Like this one is very, very warm. So I definitely gravitate towards the Skin Deep versus this one. And these two shades, while they're really beautiful, they're not gonna give you like an everyday kind of look. Like you use one of these and all of a sudden you kind of have like an evening look. So for those reasons, I like this palette because I think it's very beautiful, but it's just not one that I reach for very often, and it really is subpar compared to the palettes that NARS has released since this one. So that's the Atomic Blonde and the full vinyl lacquers. I love these. So I got, basically I got like black and white, but this color is at first sight. This is the most beautiful topper. I love this still. It has the most beautiful like gold hint to it. So this just turns any lip color into just a beautiful golden version of it. And then this color is Everglades. And if you go back to August 4th and you take a look at that video, the thumbnail is of me wearing this, and I put this on at the end of the video. But this is basically a black lip gloss, and I love it. I love black lips, and actually a couple of you have asked me, since I've said that before, you've asked me to put on black lips. And, you know, it's the summertime, so I just don't feel like it's something I want to do now, but come fall and winter, I will definitely do that. But this is Everglades. So it looks, well, it swatches really black. Oh, there, you can see like the glint in there. So there's like a little bit of sparkle in there. There's a little bit of a shift, but this is like a black gloss. And I love the formula of these. They're really, really beautiful glosses. Big fan of these full vinyl lip lacquers from NARS. So the next video where I actually talk about some products that I got and I, you know, maybe didn't have a chance to follow up on, I posted on August 16th. It is a collective haul, Nordstrom Ulta and some PR. So this was basically the Nordstrom haul that I did when they were doing their anniversary sale. So I see that I got the Simple Human mirror. That's the one that magnifies and it lights up. If I can find a picture of it, I will post it right up here. That one I'm still using. It's in my bathroom. Actually, my husband uses it more than I do. He loves to use it like to shave because it is a magnifier, and he feels like he's always missing hairs like right underneath his chin. So he loves it. He loves that it lights up. It's great. Absolutely love it. Next, I got the Diptyque votive set. I still have it here. I had the one from I think the year before, and I have a bunch of Diptyque candles. So I've just been slowly kind of burning through them, and I just haven't gotten around to this. So this is still sitting here. I love it. I don't regret buying it. I love their candles. I especially love Baies, B-A-I-E-S. That is probably my absolute favorite home fragrance. And there's one of those in here. So anyway, I still have this, still love it, don't regret purchasing it. And then I also got some of the Nest Reed diffuser sets. That's the one with the reed diffusers that go into the oil and then it just kind of, you know, dissipates the fragrance or whatever. I threw those out, I want to say a couple months ago. So they lasted a while, and I remember when I picked them up to throw them out, I could still smell them up close. They just weren't diffusing very well, so I got rid of them, but they lasted a while. So this was in August, and I say a couple months, yeah, so 6-8 months they lasted. which is not bad. And then I picked up the Tom Ford Iris Bronze set. And here is the quad that came in that set. It also came with like a little, I think it was Casablanca. That I definitely haven't used. I haven't used the little one. But this palette I really enjoy and I've used quite a few times. I can't say that this is one that I like reach for, that I go for anytime I think about like Tom Ford palettes, especially since then they've released like 10 more or more, 10. I feel like they've released more, maybe 10 more palettes. And so this has definitely gotten lost in the shuffle, but I really like this palette. I like the color story, and this palette apparently is comprised of the 4 most popular single shadows that they sold. Those were limited edition that came out last summer. Oh my gosh, what are those called? I don't remember what those are called. What's wrong with me? But they're the little single shadows. These are apparently the 4 that were the most popular. So I enjoy this palette. I do use it on occasion, but I don't use it like a ton. And then I also purchased this Guerlain Terracotta bronzer and blush. And that was the one with these like palm leaves on there. These are really kind of like collector's items for me. So I have not used this one since I hauled it. It still smells like the terracotta scent, which I love. But I have a lot, well, I have a lot of bronzers, full stop, but I do have a lot of Guerlain bronzers. And when I think of Guerlain, I don't really think of this one. I don't know, I kind of keep it tucked away, and I really enjoy all of their limited edition special products that they come out with, especially in the summertime. So that is the bronzer blush that I picked up at Nordstrom. And then we move into what I purchased from Ulta, and I got the Smashbox Ablaze face palette. And that is this guy here. Shamefully, I have not really used this one that much. I think I've used it maybe once or twice since I got it, but I picked it up because I love the Cali Contour palette. This one I've used quite a bit. This has come with me on many, many trips, and I thought this one would be nice if I wanted like a little bit more of like a brighter punch of color with these blushes. These highlights are really pretty, but I just haven't been reaching for it, and I haven't decluttered it, which means I want to use it, and I should probably pull it out of my collection to use, but I do often overlook it, but for no reason, not like I don't like it. I just have a lot of stuff. So anyway, that is the Ablaze face palette from Smashbox. And then I picked up the Dose of Colors and Iluvsarahii collaboration. I got the eyeshadow palette, which is right here. Basically completely untouched. I purchased basically all of the collection because I wanted to do like a video on it, and then the time passed and I just never got around to it, and they just kind of fell to the back of my drawer. So I still have the eyeshadow palette, and I still have one of the highlighters. One of the highlighters I got was broken, and I just thought I could kind of press it in. I just didn't think much of it, but I finally tossed it because it was just getting worse and worse, and I think it was too dark for my skin tone anyway, so I just went ahead and tossed that. And then I do still have one of the glosses. I think I must have decluttered the other one, which I think was just kind of like a pinky peach color, but I saved the one Brillo, which is of course kind of glittery. You guys know how much I like a glittery lip gloss. So I did save this one. I used it a couple times when I picked it up, but I really haven't used it much since then, but it is quite lovely. Let me go ahead and swatch it for you guys actually. It's a really nice topper, and I thought this was a really nice addition considering how popular the Desi and Katie collab lip gloss was, the one that was over the top. That one was more, I don't know, it was not quite as milky as this one. And it had like the gold shimmers in there, but I thought this was a really nice addition to her collection. So anyway, lovely lip gloss. I do still really like this one. And then I also picked up the Natasha Danone Mini Lila palette. I must have purchased this at Sephora because Natasha Danone is not carried at Ulta. But I used this in an out of my comfort zone video, which I'll try and remember to link up here. And it was a fun video to make, and I do want to get back into making some more of those videos. This is a fun palette. I'm not one that uses really bright kind of purpley colors on the everyday, but when I do want to do like a brighter, bolder look, I do think of this palette. This one definitely comes to mind, and I've used this color probably the most out of all the colors in here. Surprisingly, you know, I just don't reach for this palette. I just don't think like, oh, I need a nude matte and then pick up the Mini Lila palette. So whenever I do think of this palette, it's usually for this sparkly shade and sometimes for these two. So these are definitely my 3 most used shades in here. And I know some people talked about the quality of the mini palettes not being as good as the larger palettes that she has. I don't recall really having problems with this one, and I know the mini nude palette that came out afterwards, I thought that one was great. And those are the only two that I have. I don't have any of the other mini ones, so I can't speak to that. But I do enjoy this one, and if you're a fan of purpley colors, they're really beautiful. And then I talk about some PR stuff that I got. The Teamy Detox Mask, the green tea mask. That one is a little bit too much for my skin, so my husband has been using it, and I think he's done with the jar already, but I remember him really, really liking it. He really liked the scent of it. I remember it smelled really like green tea and just really fresh, and so he really liked it. I would find him sitting in bed with it just all over his face, and he just really loved it. And then Face Stockholm, which is like such a throwback for me. Face Stockholm sent me a bunch of stuff, and they were really like hot in the 90s, and they used to have a boutique in Soho, like on Spring and Green, like it was right on the corner, I remember. And I remember going in there, and they were one of the first ones that had this like lilac colored nail polish. I'm old, like this is how old we're talking. But anyway, that's what I remember about Face Stockholm when I think about them. But anyway, I remember when they reached out to me, I was really excited to get some of their things, but none of it was really that great. And I've decluttered all of these things. Their matte lip gloss, I remember, was by far the worst thing ever. It had the worst texture. It was like beyond sticky. It was like quicksand on your lips. It was not a good formula at all. But their Magic Wand, which was like a concealer, that one I thought was really nice. Some of their cream products I thought were decent. The Smart Wheel, that was something that had like all these different kinds of products in there, all cream products. That one was okay. It just, none of these things ever really spoke to me, so I decluttered them. And then Nest sent me a liquidless diffuser. So I just talked about how I got the actual reed diffusers, and they sit in oil. So the liquidless diffusers are just the reeds, and those are already infused with the oil, so there's no oil at all. And I thought that was the best thing ever, because I'm always paranoid I'm gonna like tip over the oil diffuser and just get it everywhere, or if I have it on my coffee table, my dog is gonna knock it over or something. So I really like the idea of these liquidless diffusers, but they definitely did not stay good for as long as the oil ones. I feel like maybe after 2 or 3 months, it was already pretty like dead. So that was my experience with the liquidless diffusers. And then Pat McGrath was kind enough to send me, I'm not on her PR list or anything, but it was almost like a thank you gift for all the videos, I guess, or all the things that I purchased, but all the videos that I probably posted. But she sent me some matte trance lipsticks, Christy, Guinevere, and Elson too. I just don't wear matte lipsticks that much. As much as I love the Pat McGrath matte trance formula, it's just not what I reach for. If I want a matte lip, yeah, I will reach for one of those, but they're just not lipsticks that I reach for often. All right, so that was my haul video from August 16th. Let me see if there's anything else. This is gonna probably be a pretty blasé video because of the no buy. And that is it. Everything else is like top 5 Tuesdays, collection videos, my skincare routine, all those things I've either updated since then, or they're not products that I haven't followed up on. So anyway, that is it for this mini reviews. That was really quick. Well, had I known this video was gonna be so short, I probably would have filmed it earlier, because these videos are very labor intensive. But I will try and get back to you quickly on mini reviews for products that I purchased or hauled in September, because that's gonna be a doozy. That is going to be a doozy, because I remember coming off of this no buy and there were all these things that were releasing. Anyway, stay tuned for that. Definitely don't forget to subscribe if you want to. If you like my content, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video.